Greetings, my name is Ian Vargo, and I'm with theproaudiofiles.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to approach mixing stacks upon stacks of vocals. The song that I'll be using is Little Bugs by the band Ugly Ugly Words. Make sure to check it out on iTunes. The idea for this song was that it was supposed to sound like the band Talking Heads. Not sure if you've listened to them. You definitely should. They're a great band from the 70s and 80s. David Byrne is still doing really great stuff. And so the song was supposed to sound sort of like a African tribal infused pop song with a melody that was driving the song. So we've got a lead vocal track right here and 6 more backing tracks all happening at the same time throughout most of the song. So that can present a challenge. Let's take a listen to it. This is close to the final mix.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs.
Let's just solo all of the vocals.
I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got. What settled down on you in the night?
So very nice harmonies. The lead singer, Andy, is doing literally every part. So it ranges from a pretty deep lead vocal to a falsetto high vocal part, especially in the choruses, and he's doing all of it. It was recorded with an AKG C-414. I really like that mic, especially the way that it works on Andy's voice. So before I put any plugins on anything, what I like to do is I take all of the breaths in the lead vocal and I drag them to their own track. The reason I do that is because I don't want my breaths to be triggering compression and EQ. And then after that, you can see I bring down all sibilant noises. So all S's, CH sounds, I bring down with volume automation. Okay? So my signal chain here, when we're talking about plugins, is pretty intense. And same thing with my reverb and delays. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different instances of processing here. And we'll go through that. So the first thing I did on the lead vocal, let's take a listen to it raw, okay? Let's mute these.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got. How many times?
So a really great performance by Andy, very expressive, but was a little bit uncompressed and definitely was not cutting through the mix. So what I started by doing, I don't always do this, but I boosted a good amount of high end with the API 560 equalizer. So we've got some 16K, 8K, 4K, 2K. I cut some mids and cut some lows too. After that, I use the Waves Puig Child, and this is sort of handling the peaks. This compressor is not operating the entire duration of the song. It just sort of takes over when Andy sings really loudly. Take a listen.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got.
So as you can see, only when he gets a little bit louder does the Puig Child engage. After that, I've got the decapitator. I was going through a big Sound Toys decapitator phase at this point, and I was pretty liberal with the amount of distortion that I added. Take a listen.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got. How many times?
So what this did was it brightened up the vocal, added a little bit of harmonic distortion to help the vocal cut through and sit in its own space. After that, I applied the API 2500 compressor, which I think is a really great compressor. Let's go forward to the chorus, show you what it's doing.
What settled down on you in the night? What settled down on you in the night?
So pretty much all of the peaks and most of the content is being compressed by this with a slow release time, a moderate ratio of 4:1, pretty slow attack time. Mess around with this compressor. The threshold and knee and detector, all of these things add different sonic characteristics. After that, because I have so much processing going on, definitely need some de-essing. Only used a range of less than 1 dB. After that, I've got a little more compression. CLA3A is really great. Let's go forward to the second verse.
How many times
And this really helped boost.
I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got.
Really boosted the vocals and sort of smoothed it and rounded it out. I had a lot of distortion and high end going into it, so it really helped with that. And then lastly, I've got this Puig check on which I'm boosting about 3 dB at 60 hertz and boosting 4 dB at 16, and also attenuating a little bit. So this is a unique EQ here. Make sure to check it out. So after that, let's go through some of my sends. So we've got lead verb, lead verby, lead delay, slap lead, lead fourth, throw delay, and then lead slap. Some of my naming seems a little bit suspicious. You would probably get confused if you open up one of my sessions, but I sort of know what's going on. Okay, so the first thing that I have is the IR1 efficient. Looks like it's using some sort of plate sound. Okay, let's check this out here.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all
And that was
the
mixed
little
pretty
bugs
low.
have got.
Next, we've got spring reverb, which I think is a really fun trick that I like using on a lot of vocals. Sort of has a guitar amp sound.
How many times I've thought confidence is something
Really help the
only
vocals sit in its own
all the little
space.
bugs have got.
And generally, I am not soloing when I am adding these effects. I'm sort of listening to the entire mix. So let's go ahead and add all of these effects that I've got happening. We have 3 more instances of Echo Boy, one with an 8th note value, 16th note, and a quarter note triplet. So let's take a listen here.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs
So
have
definitely
got.
helped the vocal after all the sculpting that I did with EQ and compression and distortion sort of sit back in its own place. After that, I've got these sort of backing vocal tracks. Let's take a listen one by one.
How many times
That one sort of mimics the lead vocal.
I've thought confidence is something
Sounds like I have a good amount
all
of
the little bugs have got.
decapitation going on there.
Time I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got. What's settled down on you in the night?
There's that high vocal.
What's settled down on you in the night?
Okay, so whereas the lead vocal was coming out the main output, most of my backup vocal tracks were going through what is called BU bus. And on the BU bus, I have the Puig Child 670, which is just a stereo version of what we saw before. An API equalizer boosting some high end. And a de-esser, doing a good amount of de-essing. So let's take a listen to the lead vocal with the backup vocal tracks. Let's go to another part of the song here.
How many times I've thought confidence something only all the little bugs have got. How many times I've thought confidence something only all the little bugs have got. How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got.
Okay, so in addition to these going to their own auxiliary track right here, the auxiliary track was being bussed to its own auxiliary tracks with spring reverb, more Echo Boy, and in addition, these tracks right here were certain combinations of these aux tracks that we saw here. So it got pretty complex when it came to signal processing. As you can see, my computer is operating a little bit slow. It's a pretty taxing session. So let's take a listen to it all together.
How many times I've thought confidence something only all the bugs have got.
And even though you see that we have some guitar tracks, more guitar, organs, more organs, bass, drums, everything, the lead vocal and the backup vocals working with the lead really dominated the song and were the driving force of the song. And that is why, as you can see, I have a lot of processing, a lot of spatialization happening, definitely more so than some of the drums and other things. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the tune. Once again, it's Little Bugs by the band Ugly Ugly Words, and my name is Ian Vargo with the Pro Audio Files. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you soon.
How many times I've thought confidence is something only all the little bugs have got.